Good evening, friends of the pod. It is Monday night, October the 13th. We are live from Harmon Geist Memorial Field, coming to you from the cozy confines of the Ray Saw Press Box, high above Harmon Geist Memorial Field, for the next round of a walk between the hash marks. As always, the coach is with me. We'll get into things from last week in the game at Pittston in a few minutes, but first, take a couple seconds here to thank the people that I am very fortunate to have as friends and very fortunate to have as sponsors that put us here every week. As always, our good friend Randy Marchetti, Aura Marchetti, Plumbing and Heating. Our good friend Dante Chirico and family at Alta Pizzeria and Pasta House. New game of the week sponsor this week, Mike and Nicole from Valley Pizza. Our player of the game sponsor, as always, and very, very thankful for Brian and his group as well. Our friends at Bar Bush Automotive and BLB Auto Sales. And of course, our on the bench guest, our guest sponsor, Faro Funeral Services Incorporated. We'll get to them and what each one of those fine folks and their businesses are all about. Friday night, again, another tough one, but what I witnessed again, because I am very lucky to be on the sidelines with these people every week now. Fire, no matter what the situation is, between coaches and team and everybody around this team. Just the general never give up attitude, and despite the score, whether ahead, behind, or way behind, always feeling that they're still in it. And I am pleased to say that I get that feeling as well. Still a little ways to go here. Improvement every week. You'll hear Coach talk about that. There is no L. The only L is lessons learned. Like I said, there's a long way to go. This week is homecoming, senior week in 2 weeks, and whatever brings after that, things could change in a snap. So, as always, the man who will explain to us what's going on, where we're headed, and how things are going to fare out here. We are in homecoming game week. Coach, take us down the road.
All right, so this past week we went up to a really good Pittston team. We kind of said it last week. They flipped the script from a year before being 2-9, and now this year 7-1. Obviously the game did not go our way. Our younger players got to watch them celebrate on the field and got to see what that kind of looks like. And said it before the game, talking to the players, we said, they have an opportunity to clinch tonight, clinch the Wyoming Valley title, and they did. And they got to celebrate on the field after the game, and able to see that and realize, a team that last year that only won 2 games, and then this year how it turns out to a senior heavy team that they had 21 seniors on that team this year. It's hard to go up against a very senior heavy team like that when the majority of our players are younger players playing for the first time. So, and all in all, the scoreboard at the end of the game didn't really show it much because, near the end of the game, we started to get some younger guys into the game, and, they tacked on 2 more touchdowns. But, take you into the first half. We took the ball first, ended up getting the first down, couldn't convert, had to punt it. They go down the field and they score. On the ensuing kickoff, we fumble the ball. So they get it. There's one of those mistakes that, seem to kill us in the past couple games. We get a fumble. They go down the field and score again. Then we get the ball and we go down the field, get into the red zone, and don't convert. We ended up not converting. We actually tried to go for a field goal.
Right.
At that point, ended up not getting the field goal. So they get the ball back, go down, score. Now it's 21-0. We have the ball, go down the field, get in the red zone again, end up throwing an interception. So you take away the fumble, and if we were able to punch it in twice there, it's a 14-14 game going into halftime. but you have to capitalize. And that's what I said to our players. I said, we can't be a second half team. We have to come out and compete. We did that, pushing the ball down the field, obviously not the way that we want it to go, but we go into halftime, it's 21-0. We obviously elected to take the ball first, so they got the ball coming out, and Pittston did what Pittston's been doing all year. They go right down the field, behind their, great wide receiver, LaPresto, and then their big running back, who was a converted lineman, who, we didn't realize till, read into some of the papers before the game that he was a lineman 2 years ago.
Yep.
So 225-pound back running the ball.
I made aware of that before the game. I was quite surprised.
Yeah, but he was a hard one to tackle, and that was their, those two were the whole offense. It was the wide receiver and the running back, and they went down the field and scored, 28. So then we get the ball, and now we go down the field and score. So
things were only looking at a 3-score game, much like it was at halftime. So it wasn't unplayable. It was able to get back into it.
Yeah. But, they ended up scoring again, and then we went down and scored again. And at that point, it was 35-13. And then in the fourth quarter, when we started getting some younger guys in, the game really, they tacked on 2 more touchdowns. But I was really happy with how our players played. No unnecessary penalties. I stressed that last week.
Big warning
I stressed that
Dan about that.
Yep, stressed that last week, and we talked about this week. Not hurting your teammates and not making a dumb play, and being selfish on a play. And we did that, and we definitely played better by doing that. Not to give up those penalties and to do that. And trust me, it's hard to say. We come out here every week, and I say the same thing. I say the same thing over and over. Oh, we're getting better. You don't see it on film. You don't see it in the win and losses, but we see it on film, and we are. We're playing better. That's for sure. We were lucky enough to get a full game out of one of our senior captains this week, who's going to be on the show, a little later. Had a big game for us. If we get the pieces together, I mentioned it last week, but we get a shot at the playoffs. So we're going to get a shot at Wilkes-Barre again. Do we deserve it? No, we know that, but that's how the PIAA has it set up, and we're going to take every advantage of it that we can. And if we could, get our guys right, get some players healthy, get back into these games, maybe we could get a playoff game.
Coach, you mentioned about putting everything together and all the players, kind of playing at one time. A lot of the boys took some big bangings this week. We don't obviously want to get into talking about specific injuries, but JJ took a good shot. He had to come over the sideline of the shoulder. He took a nasty hit. Mm-hmm. Your center had ice on his knee. Jake, I think Mr. Gennaro wasn't looking too good. They took him away to the locker room.
Yeah.
At one point, they told me even Ashton went out, and I did not see that. They called for me on the broadcast, and I couldn't hear in my earpiece, so I didn't even know what was going on.
He gave us a scare, but it was a cramp. So
that's good.
Yeah, it was just a cramp. So he was all right. But I mean, that's football. I mean, football is a tough sport. Injuries happen. You hate to see it, but our guys are tough. Our guys are tough, and they fight through it.
Well, talking your way out of the half there with you, I mentioned about the shot JJ took, and your comment to me was
he's a football player.
Exactly, and that's exactly what each and every one of these boys on this team are. True football players, as far as that goes, and I've seen them take shots here and there. I've also seen them give quite a few as well. But Friday night it just was a topsy-turvy. This one got it, that one got it. And like I said, it wasn't, even though there was a 3-score lead in both cases, reaching the point of getting back in the thing wasn't far out. As I mentioned before you left the field, might be out of it, but not away from it. Yeah. So, I mean, it's,
No, I mean, we see it. We see it every week, week in and week out. The improvements there. Still, doesn't show up in the win column, and that's what everybody wants to see. So, I mean, the thing that I can tell you with my first year being in this program, getting hired, till we really got into the swing of things, we probably weren't really going until April that we were in a full swing of things. Like, my goal for this program moving forward is to not have a downturn like this, where, it's high school football. When you are senior heavy, that is kind of a good season for you to have, like when you have a lot of seniors.
Right.
But we want to make sure that we could, build a program here and have a program where, you don't have that downturn. Try to get some of these younger players ready, whether it be in our, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade programs and our JV program. Try to get those guys ready so that when that time does come for them to step on the varsity field, they're ready to go. And we don't have, a downturn like this where, guys are getting in there and only getting their first experience, through trial and fire.
Right.
So,
Right. Obviously, there was no expectations to go undefeated. Everybody has their twists and turns, but it's only been 8 or 9 months.
Mhm.
I mean, just again, we've spoken so many times, and an old friend that used to coach at Berwick and is now currently the head coach at Bloom. We always used to talk every time we get together, whether it be here or up there. And I just ran into him not too long ago. And the first thing we said to each other is, people just do not realize how hard it is just to win one game. And especially in a situation such as the new coaching staff coming in, a whole new system. I mean, these guys were used to going a certain way for quite a few years. But
and it's plain and simple too that, we're a 6A school. We don't play cupcake competition.
Right.
Our schedule, there is not an easy game on our schedule. I mean, heck, that our game that we did win, we won 140-0. And, coming in on that West Scranton game, they went against Abington Heights and won 4 quarters the week before.
Right.
And it's like, man, are we going to get any games that just give us some breathing room to be able to breathe? But, every week it is a challenge. Every week, it's a bit like this week's a big one. It's homecoming. It's Dallas. Dallas is Dallas. Dallas is tough. They're gritty. They play like they're coached. And that's how, Coach Manello is up there. Coach Manello is a tough guy. And, they play just how they're coached. So, we got to be ready every week. There's no easy games to just kind of let off the gas, because you'll get trounced every week if you do that.
Yeah, and it's just a continuation week after week. And again, you mentioned about, the box score doesn't say what it's all about. The stats don't. Basically what it comes down to is if you're not there and you don't know, then you just don't know.
Yeah.
You see it every day. I get to see it 2, maybe 3 times a week tops, including the game. But if you don't get it, then you just don't get it.
They talk about like these teams, like you look in college football and you look at like the SEC. The SEC says, all these other college teams, they put cupcakes on their schedule. They have easy games. And then, the worst team in the SEC goes and plays somebody outside their conference and blows them out. And it's like, well, how could this be? Because that's the level of competition that you play. That's the level of competition that Hazleton plays here. That's what we want our kids to do. We want our kids to see that, because college recruiters look at that. And our guys that want to play on the next level, they're playing the top competition. And if they could excel in our games, that's going to carry a lot more weight when you're talking to a college recruiter, versus a school that's playing these cupcakes and, you pad your stats and your stats look great. But they want to see if you're playing against college competition. And that's what we play against every week.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think we're going to kind of put a bow on the whole Pittston week. And as we always say, we'll move on down the road. We'll discuss Dallas and the whole homecoming thing when we get into our second half here. But this brings us to our players of the game, brought to you by Barbush Automotive since 1937. Barbush Automotive, located at 1299 Route 924 over in Harley, Hazel Township. Give us a call. We'll do it all. That is their motto, again, since 1937. Both businesses located on the premises, Barbush Automotive and BLB Auto Sales, all your repair and service needs. They take anything in as long as it is feasible, whether it is an emergency or something scheduled. Please give Bryant and his staff a call at 570-454-7571. Also located on the premises, as mentioned, BLB Auto Sales. If you feel like going over, again, their address, 1299 Route 924 over in Harley, in the township. You can check out their inventory on site. They are open till 5:30 every day and 12:30 on the weekends, on Saturdays. If you're not into checking it out, you can check their inventory as well online at www.barbushauto.com. Again, their phone number, 570-861-8393. Again, as mentioned, a big thank you to Brian and his staff. Again, one of the biggest reasons we wouldn't be here if so. So please give them a visit / and the call. Barbush Automotive, 570-454-7571. All your repair and service needs to all your vehicles. And again, located on the same premises, BLB Auto Sales, 570-861-8393. Check it out in person, their stock and or inventory, or you can see it as well at www.barbushauto.com. So we're going to stand up and we'll cast aside our chairs here, and we'll get set to bring our players of the game in here. I guess we'll do them one at a time.
Yeah, who do you want to do
Since
first?
you want to go offense or defense?
Yeah.
Last week we went defense, offense, so let's go offense. Defense.
Go offense first?
All right, yeah, let's get him in here.
All right. Ashley.
This is the one that fooled us all last week. You can come up when we're in the middle. You're taller than me. It's okay. And I got to make sure I grab the right one here. Here we go. Ashton Karlick, Barbush Automotive BLB Auto Sales Player of the Game for offense.
So this is a guy that we're, extremely happy to have back. It's a guy who was in the weight room day one when I got here, never missed a day, never missed a practice, was here all the time, putting in the work, going through camp, tweaked your hamstring, retweaked it again in the first game. And it's been a heck of a season, never ending, took about 6 to 7 weeks for it finally to heal up and get this guy back. I mean, this is a guy who, is going to play football on the next level. And when he steps onto the field, teams recognize, and he puts fear into the defense's heart when he's on the field.
Very mean when he's warming up on the sideline.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So it's one of the guys that we talked about when we said, we're inundated with injuries this year, and it really hurt not having him on the field. And now he's back this week. We had him on both sides of the ball. We had him on offense. We had him on defense. Literally does everything for us. Senior captain, leader, had a big game running the ball. I mean, punched it in, touchdown, a little shy of rushing for 100 yards in the game.
Just below.
Against a really good Pittston team. And that's the kind of stuff that I talked about before. What college recruiters look for when they're looking for somebody. They're looking for the competition that you play and what you do, and somebody to go out and almost have 100 yards rushing, in a game back that, he's still sharing the ball. He's still sharing the ball. If it was just him running the ball, he could have had 200 yards. But, we still have Xavier who's out there. Yeah,
for sure.
And trying to have him going both ways and making sure we give him some wind in that going through that. But it's a guy that doesn't stop and runs the ball hard. So we're extremely happy to have him back. I'm thrilled he's on this with us tonight, and he finally got on here. So, just happy to have him the rest of the way out.
He might end up being a 2 or 3 timer before the season ends. He might be in competition with the other two.
Absolutely.
So we'll see what happens. Ashton, I know it's been a little frustrating as well. I'm sure from your end, every week, are you going to play? Is it going to work? I know Coach and I talk, but the last couple of weeks, its steps are coming up little by little. So give us your thoughts, man.
It just feels good to be back. I'm happy to finally be back out there on the field with the guys and just playing the game that I love the most.
Yeah, it's your senior year as well. So now's the time to stay healthy and keep pushing these next 2, possibly 3 games. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Ashton Karlick, our offensive player of the week, courtesy of Barbush Automotive and BLB Auto Sales. Ashton, best of luck, man, and we'll get it going. Send your teammate in here.
Yeah.
We'll do defense. Is he a 2-timer now with this? Or
No, your first timer, right?
First timer.
First timer.
Get in here. Hayden Ensteel, our defense player of the game again, Barbush Automotive, BLB Auto Sales. Coach.
So this is another guy, kind of a Swiss Army knife that we've literally put everywhere. He even played tight end for us this week. He has played tight end. He's played, fullback for us. We've had him at linebacker. We've had him at outside. We've had him at DN. So, you seem to have found a home playing defensive end for us, rushing off the end, gives tackles fits. So this week at a big game, got a big sack in the game,
Did.
So finally to get this guy on here, he's been there. You want to talk about a football player? This is a football player right here. I mean, you're probably dinged up every week with something and just play. You would never know. You would never know. Other than I think you missed the game in the beginning when you had a concussion. But other than that, little tweaks here, little injuries here. I don't even know about it. He's in the trainer's room getting treatment, getting stuff, and he just plays through it. And you would never know that he's hurt. And he just plays, and he plays 100% every time that he's out there.
Quite so succeed. That's what they say.
Yeah. We're loaded with football players, and this is definitely one of them. And another young guy, 10th grade this year, getting in there, getting his feet wet, and he looks like a seasoned veteran playing in there. So
yeah, it looks like he's about 24.
Yeah.
Plus, he's much taller than Harris.
Yeah.
But our defensive player of the week, Hayden, congratulations, man. Give us your thoughts.
I don't really know. I think we just got to go out and play our game every week. I think we'll beat any team we go against if we just play our game.
And things seem to start to swing, when things start to click together. So again, like Coach and I discussed, week by week, things are getting a little better, starting to click. So it can hit it at any moment. And this is one of the guys, like Coach says, it's going to help that click. And he's only a sophomore. So we're going to probably be seeing him in this situation a lot more. And he probably won't tell us if he's hurt or not anyway. So.
No.
But you never know it. I get an opportunity usually once a week to see them practice. And, he's one of the standouts in my opinion too. It's leadership at a sophomore, point in his career. So there's a long way to go and a lot more games to go and a lot more to come. So again, congratulations to Hayden Ensteel, Barbush Automotive, BLB Auto Sales, defensive player of the game. So, all right, get going, get out.
Thank you for having me.
Coach is going to take a break. Tell you a little bit about our sponsors. This is the part where we like to tell you a little bit about them. I'll explain more. We still have some spots available, but this week we'll start with our season sponsors, our good friends at Alta Pizzeria and Pasta House, located at 380 South Popular Street here in Hazleton. The Chirico family been in business since 1992. Neil, Mrs. Chirico, I always call her, but Dante's mom, Dante Chirico. Dante running the show right now. Didn't blink in an eye when I contacted his mom, Renee, Mrs. Chirico. When I finally got to Dante and said, it's nothing better to show your support and sponsor, when it comes to our local teams and our local athletics. So we can't thank the Chirico family, Dante, Neil, Renee, both living the good life now at Alta Pizzeria and Pasta House. Recently chosen as the Standard Speaker's best Italian food in Hazleton through the Reader's Choice Awards. You can catch their visual, their logo on the bottom right hand of your screen, where you will see that they offer their 2+ for $11.50 each. That's 2 or more at $11.50 each, including cavatelli ravioli, a large antipasto, stuffed shells, Francesca pizza, bone-in wings, or a large pizza. You can choose any one of those 7 on the 2 or more for $11.50 each. So for like $24, you can pull off a home meal. Again, dine in or order out. You can call your order and you can give them a call at 570-455-7892. Again, our friends at Alta Pizzeria and Pasta House. Don't forget also the Dante's Inferno food truck. You can find them on Facebook at Alta Presents Dante's Inferno. Again, another elected standard speaker as best food truck in Hazleton, again with the Reader's Choice Awards, and reminds you that Dante will be down at Maylot's Farm Market again this weekend in Cunningham on both the 18th and the 19th. Lots of good eats. I always recommend the soup, pasta fazool personally, or all good eats. Obviously the pizza, but the pasta fazool, especially this time of year, is very close to my heart and stomach. Again, Alta presents Dante's Inferno on Facebook. Again, they'll be down at May Last Farm in Cunningham this week, the 18th and the 19th. Again, big thanks to the Chirico family and Alta Pizzeria and Pasta House. Another season sponsor, a good friend that's just close, near and dear to my heart. The fine folks at R.L. Marchetti Plumbing and Heating here in Hazleton, serving the Hazleton area and outside for over 110 years. Emergency service or scheduled service available, especially at this time of the year. You're getting ready to clean the boiler. You're getting ready to get the house winterized when it comes to the pipes and such. These are the fine folks to call, 570-455-7335. Also, in an emergency situation, I know we're getting colder nights and such, tip the couple into the 30s. Always a chance a pipe could bust or break. You can give them a call, and within a considerable amount of time, Randy or someone within the crew will give you a call and get to you as quick as possible. Again, R.L. Marchetti Plumbing and Heating here in Hazleton, 570-455-7335. Proud and very excited to welcome another new sponsor this week as our game week sponsor, our good friends Mike and Nicole down at Valley Pizza and Subs, located just outside of Cunningham, 1 West County Road in Seibertsville. Again, another business that's a staple in our area since 1989, serving the Cunningham and Sugarloaf Valley area. Eat in or order by phone, and you can call them at 570-788-6300. Fresh dough pizza every day, made to order. Also, their own cheese and their own sauce, made every day fresh from their very own recipe, along with some of the best stromboli, subs, salads, wings, you name it, they got it. It is some of the best food that you can eat in our area. Again, a big thanks to one of our new ones, our game week sponsor for this week, Valley Pizza, 1 West County Road down in Seibertsville. You can check them out on Facebook at Valley Pizza and Subs Incorporated, or at www.valley-pizza.com. Both of those contain the menus as well. Please give them a call. I'm proud to say also that they will be our pre- and post-game sponsors this week for the homecoming game, the Dallas game. And you can check that out Friday night with the pregame at 6:15, the postgame 10 minutes after the clock goes zero, on our Facebook, on our YouTube page, and on with highlights on our Instagram. But again, big thanks to our game week sponsor, Valley Pizza, 1 West County Road, Seibertsville, PA, 570-788-6300. As we get, I don't know if we really call this a bench. I guess it could be, but it is time for our on the bench special guests. They'll be in here in a minute. But a big thanks to Furrell's Funeral Services Incorporated here in Hazleton. When the family is in that time of need, Furrell Funeral Services are the ones to call since 1892, serving the Hazleton area, 26 West 2nd Street here in Hazleton. Jeff Furrell, the director, Andrew Piskel, the supervisor, two very good friends of myself. And again, a big thank you to them. Please give them a call when the family is in that time of need. 570-454-1561, our on the bench sponsor. As I call in our guests, big thanks to Furrell Funeral Services Incorporated. Come on, guys. Come on in. Welcome. Put one here, one next to you. Oh, there's three of you. I was told it's all right. I guess I'll move my butt over a little. You guys can get a little closer. With this week being homecoming and such, I have been sent some student volunteers that help put these events together. So I'm going to start on the end, and you can each give your name and what faction. I believe it's either Student Council or Spirit Club, right? So we'll start with you.
So, hi guys, I'm Kira Stahora and I'm in Student Council and Spirit Club.
I'm Emily Fancher and I'm also in Student Council and Spirit Club.
And I'm Maisie Kurtz. I'm also in both clubs.
So we have Kira.
Emily.
And Maisie.
Okay, who's going to be the spokesman?
I think all three of us
Yeah.
might have something different to talk about.
Absolutely. We have homecoming coming up this week, right? Hopefully the weather's going to chill and it's going to be like 80 and sunny before the game starts, so we won't freeze at night, right, guys? But there's some big stuff happening. Actually, there was no school today with Columbus Day. Yay. But big happenings tomorrow, right? Was it the parade and the carnival?
Yes,
Who wants to throw it down? Time, place, where we're at?
You want to start with the parade?
Oh yes, so tomorrow we will start with the parade. I think the parade starts around 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the parade will start around 6 over by the school and then it'll end by, where's the carnival?
It'll end at the Hazleton Area High School by the natatorium doors, to which it will be followed by an amazing carnival that has so much thought and plan put into it. There's going to be about 4 or 5 food trucks. It's going to be really, really cool. Lots of games that is run by different clubs, which some will be using it as a fundraiser, some just for free. It's a great event for the community, and it's really going to be so much fun.
Yeah, so we have the parade at 6, right?
Mhm.
And that's going to be all around the Maple Manor area, I
Yes,
guess, right?
Yes, and it'll
And then-
end at the
The parade will come back and end at the carnival, and I believe the carnival is it 6:30 to 8?
Yeah,
Yes.
8:30. Yes.
Four food vendors, 4 food trucks, games from all the different clubs.
and sports, I believe. Some of the sports
Yes,
teams are
yes.
doing stuff.
Yeah, so it should make for a great night. I know the parade has always been a big success, so the carnival is a whole other faction that just makes the night fun, and that's tomorrow night, Tuesday.
Mhm.
What do we have coming up the rest of the week, ladies?
The football game Friday is
Right.
where they'll crown the homecoming king and queen.
At halftime, it's at 7 o'clock and it's a whiteout, so be there and be loud.
She came dressed for the whiteout.
Yeah.
She did.
She didn't get our memo.
Yeah.
That's right.
She's
But she's repping for
Yes.
Friday night.
Yeah, he's ready.
The game starts at 7, obviously. We're gonna do all the homecoming, I guess, sort of be king and queens who's ever gonna be elected. I believe there's like 24 between the guys and the gals,
Yes,
right?
12 boys, 12 girls.
So it should be fun. There's a few football players in there. I had the list. It's on my phone. I'd have to step out, but
Brian Welsh,
Here we
Sam
go.
Keller, and Aiden Clifford, and Rusty Schmidt. I think are all of them.
how about the ladies?
Me, Kira, I don't know all of them.
There's
Malia
a lot.
Graciano, both of the Miranda twins, Lily and Layla. Who else is there? Kimberly Tejeda,
Alina.
Kayani Alvarez.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of us.
Iona Cherry.
We got some
Yes.
shout outs in there.
Yes.
Yes.
But, so how does this work again now? Do they vote all week or is it already
No,
pretty
they
much
already
wrapped up?
voted.
Oh, the voting's already happened?
Yes.
So they already know who
So somewhere in a specifically signed sealed envelope, somewhere in the high school are the king and the queen
Yeah.
and who are the winners are going to be this year.
Yeah.
Again, that happens Friday night here at the stadium during the Dallas football game. Kickoff is at 7, and then the whole homecoming festivities and introductions of the court and those who will be elected as king and queen as well will happen at halftime of the game. So very exciting. Lots of things coming up. The parade. The weather is actually supposed to be somewhat decent the rest of the week. It could
Yes.
be a little chilly. But I think it's going to hold out for tomorrow night, I believe, that I saw. And Friday night, we should be good. So again, throw the names down one more time so I don't screw it up.
Kira,
Emily.
And Maisie.
They are both from either Student Council and or Spirit Club. They are the ones that host. They are the ones that were sent, I guess, by your instructor, Mr. Jason Turi.
yes.
We need to thank him as well for sending you guys down and just kind of getting it out there a little bit more than it's been. So thank you to the ladies. Good luck tomorrow night. I hope the weather holds out, and good luck. Maybe I'll be talking to a queen soon. So, big thanks to the ladies. There you have it, our on the bench guest for this week. Again, thanks to Furos Funeral Services Incorporated. Very excited what's going to happen here. It's it's more than just the football game and everybody being introduced to the football game. So big thanks again, ladies, for coming down. Thanks for taking your time on your day off. I know we're getting all chill, getting ready to get back into it. And tomorrow night's a big night. So good luck with that.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thanks for coming in, guys. There you have it, our on the bench guest for the week. Reps from the student council over at Hazleton Area High School and Spirit Club. They're the ones who put this whole thing together. And it's going to be an exciting week again with the parade around Maple Manor tomorrow night, which starts around 6 o'clock, which leads into the high school carnival, the homecoming carnival, which will be in the parking lot over at Hazleton Area High School, where that parade ends after it runs through the Maple Manor, and then the crowning here at halftime of the Dallas home game. This coming Friday night game starts at 7. Quickly before we get Coach back in here for the second half, want to remind everybody we still have a couple of weeks left here in the season with the possibility of playoff game as well. So you're looking at almost 3 weeks. Still looking for game sponsors if you're interested. I know the holidays are coming. They seem so far away, but yet they're close. Whether it's inside, whether it's crafts, whether it's clothing, whatever it may be. Just that little extra push to give you and your business to get over the hump a little bit and get it out there in a different way. You see here what we do each week. The live reads, it's like having a live commercial. We do the best we can with it. A lot of positives have come out of this in the past 8 weeks with another 3 to go. A lot can happen for a small business or any business stature of that matter as well. You can give us a call if you're interested, again, to put it over a little bit over that hump. Again, mentioning we do have game week sponsorships, also pre and post game, as I mentioned. A big welcome to our newest sponsor, game week sponsor this week, Valley Pizza from down in Sybertsville. And again, a big thanks to Mike and Nicole for that as well. Like I said, game week, pre and post game, give us a call, 570-778-5942, or you can PM us on Facebook, The Local Sports Pod. And we'll get more to those addresses as the game goes, or as our game gets into the second half here, and explain a little bit more of where they play out in our broadcast for game week and such as we continue on through the season here. So Coach is going to pop back in here and hopefully he's well hydrated. Are we going to sit? Yeah, we'll sit. What the heck? We'll bring our chairs back in here. And Coach just wants me to look taller because he feels bad for me. So
That's it. It's exactly. We're the same height then. We both sit down.
Thanks for making me feel that way, Coach. All right, Coach. So, homecoming this week, Dallas coming into town, Coach Manello, that whole thing. Give us a little preview of where our boys are headed. They're home in the den now, finally, for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. So, before I get to the game, the girls were in here talking about the homecoming. So the football team's going to take part in homecoming parade tomorrow as well.
Awesome.
We're going to practice earlier and then get over there. We actually have 5 players this year in the homecoming.
The girls did mention that as well.
So we're going to go over, be in the parade, also be there at the carnival. Make sure we're there, make sure the football team is involved and, involved in, the school's doing some really great stuff. So we want to make sure that we're involved and we want to make sure that we show up for, the rest of the school too, like they show up for us on a Friday night.
Right. So. Right. Yeah. It's very exciting with this carnival thing. So, and I think the weather, I was telling the girls, I think the weather's going to hold out.
Yeah. The rain's going to hopefully get done here tonight at some point. It's still kind of raining.
Dress in layers. That's all we can say. We try to do that every week. So
yeah.
It's
And yeah, this week coming up, you got Coach Manello coming down here who, has coached for a long time. And, Dallas is tough. Dallas is always a tough team. And it's funny because, Coach TJ, who works with me at the office too, he's from Dallas. So, if you talk to Dallas people, they're having a terrible year, because of what their record is. They're used to going, deep into the playoffs and making a deep playoff run. But, this is a team this is no joke of a team. They lost to Pittston by 1 point. It was 36-35. They beat Wilkes-Barre 24-21. a lot of their games, they're kind of like us. They've played good quality teams, but they have been in every game.
Right.
And, we tell our players, they're coming in here and don't look at their record and think that, this is a team that's down. They're floating right around, the 500 mark, but, they are, they're always tough. They will be well coached. They will play hard every single play. We were just watching film, one of their first games where, they're playing Abington Heights and they're down by, 2 scores, and, they come storming back and, make it a game. They're always, in these games. And, it's been a big rivalry over the years. We were involved in some exciting games, and we've been involved in some games when, I was an assistant coach where, they came down here and ruined our season, where we started off the season 5-0 3 years ago. And, they beat us so badly on our home field that we then lost the next week. It was like that hangover game where we lost to Crestwood.
They had a killer running back at that time too. I think that was when they made their big run way deep in the playoffs. And I remember interviewing Coach Manello, and I sort of had a giddy giggle, and he almost took offense to it because I was just so impressed by what they had. And I think he was ready to like give me a good shot for it.
Yeah.
And I said, Coach Manello, I'm sorry. I'm just so, I've heard, I haven't seen. And so they can come in and be a surprise. I mean, I don't think it was really a surprise at that time, but we were kind of hot. We were playing real hot.
Yeah.
And that's where the downturn kind of started after that, as you had mentioned.
Yeah.
But,
And, we told that to our players, we were 8-2 that year.
Right.
And, that was the game that, you look back and it's, we thought that we were ready, and they came in here and literally punched us in the mouth. And that's what we got to be ready for Friday night. This is going to be an all-out slugfest. It does not get easier. We said that week in and week out, but this is only going to make us better. But if we play our game and our boys come out and they play what they are capable of playing, we can beat anybody. And I'm just waiting for that time for everything to come together.
I think we all are, and it's going to be one heck of a party when it happens. The 40-0 struggle on West Grant was big, but just because of the injuries and this or that get in the way. And we've talked about it every week. We've talked about it from week 1. We've talked about it from sitting down here on the 50 on the big HA, that when it clicks, it's going to click.
Yeah.
And it's going to click big.
Yeah. So we're waiting for that moment. Hopefully it's this week at homecoming, with a big crowd, and, everything clicks together and goes from there.
Coach, any standout players on their end we need to keep an eye on?
I mean, they're a younger team like we are. They got a lot of younger guys that are playing for the first time, but it's kind of just the name Dallas. I mean, it's almost like the name on the front speaks more than the name on the back.
Right.
It's just who's coming in here and who's coming to play. They got some program players where brothers have gone through the program, and they're football families where it's just they eat, breathe, and sleep football. So they're solid across the board.
Well, there you have it, Coach's pre-outlook for this coming week's game. It all happens right behind us here on the field, Harmon Guys Memorial Field. Kickoff is 7:00. Definitely want everybody to come out, as you saw by our on the bench guests, refs from Student Council and Spirit Club, and we thank the 3 ladies for coming in and giving us their time. Don't forget about the parade. Starts at 6:00 at the high school tomorrow. Football team is going to be there. There are quite a few members of the football team that are on court as well. The ladies had mentioned that earlier. Also going to have a booth set up for games, I guess, right? We're doing that. A bunch of the sports teams, so the ladies were telling us as well. So get on out tomorrow. That's where it begins. But the main show happens here Friday night, 7:00. If you can't get here, there's 2 ways to see it. You can catch the broadcast on Service Electric Cablevision Hazleton, which is Channel 7. WILN TDE 35 will be on the scene. Actually, we'll be right here. Joe DeMelfi, the coach, myself, Mike Sosar, we will be on the scene, on the sidelines, bringing you all the action. If that is not to your liking, perhaps the Hazleton Area School District YouTube will be the way you would like to go as well. They carry every home game. They will obviously and most certainly be here on Friday. 6:45 pregame for them, 7 o'clock airtime. Kickoff actually 7:05, 7 o'clock airtime for both outlets. Paul Bowe, Coach Rich Zalonis will be on the call for that as well. YouTube.com, HASDK 12 to your liking. Again, 6:45 pregame for Paul and Coach. 7:05 kickoff, 7 o'clock airtime. The coach, Joe DeMelfi, and myself on WYLN airtime 7:05 kickoff. So be sure to join us. Quickly, I want to thank our sponsors again this week. As always, you heard about them. You'll hear of them again and again. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. We would not be here without them. Alta Pizzeria and Pasta House here in Hazleton. RL Marchetti Plumbing and Heating in Hazleton here as well. Both are season sponsors. Brand new game sponsor this week. And again, a big thank you to Nicole and Mike at Valley Pizza down in Cybertsville, just outside of Cunningham. Of course, as always, Brian and his staff for our players of the game, Barbush Automotive and BLB Auto Sales. And of course, as mentioned, our on the bench sponsors, our guests, the girls from the Student Council and Spirit Club, and to Mr. Jason Turry, their moderator, for setting me up and allowing them to come down and join us. Again, as I mentioned, there was no school today. So, just a great way to put it out there with homecoming happening this week, obviously into Friday's game. Again, a big thank you to Firo's Funeral Services. Remind you, we will be back with you next Monday night, same place, same time. Hopefully it'll be warm and it won't be raining and we can get back to our regular confines. Well, this is kind of snazzy,
Yeah.
But we'll take it. We'll take it what it's worth. We'll be on the air right around the 8:15. That's Monday, October the 20th, a week from today. Please join us. Again, as I always say, please continue to view, comment, like, share. We are at the Local Sports Pod on YouTube, on Instagram and Facebook, which we are now live on Facebook and YouTube every week, so you can catch us either way. Again, the highlights on Instagram and the Facebook, the Local Sports Pod. As always, a big thanks to my guest, the coach, always keeping us real, filling us in. We'll do it again next week. Mike Sosa are going to sign out right now. Let's go Cougars.